just had an excellent hunt. Oh, God. Lots and lots of bucks. Alright, so right now I want to do a review on Spartan GoCam and Reconyx hyperfire 2 cell camera. Both of them say the cost is $5 a month. In reality, when you have to call Verizon and activate this camera, they say it's $5 a month, but by the time you get your bill, it's more like $10 a month. It's no exaggeration. That's what ends up happening. I don't know how they come up with that figure. It's supposed to be $5 a month. With Spartan, you not only have that, but then you have where you have to buy these premium credits, is what they call them. You have to buy that through Spartan's website. And if you pay for 12 or more at a time, you get them for $3 a credit. Less than 12 is, I think it's $4 a credit. Okay, so that's with Spartan. With Reconyx, it's $5 a month, and you get 200 pictures for that. Thing can take 200 pictures in one night. So you have to pay for an extra $5 a month, blocks of 2,000. So every 2,000 pictures you get, it costs you an extra $5 a month. So for me, I have 5 cameras. And my cameras every month take around 6,000 to 8,000 pictures. I put a cap on mine for maximum of 8,000 pictures. So I don't want to pay any more than $20 extra a month, because you're paying $5 for every 2,000 pictures. And these things are so fast that I'm always between 6,000 to 8,000 pictures a month. And the reason why, I guess, kind of skipping a little bit forward here, but the motion sensor on these, how this one works is, say a deer walks out in front of the camera, it starts taking pictures, and it keeps taking pictures as long as that deer is standing in front and giving this camera a motion sensor activation. So a deer walks in front of the camera, it might, if it's 20 foot away, it might take 10 pictures of that deer. Once that deer is out of its motion sensor range, then it activates the modem and sends you those 10 pictures. Where this one, the Spartan, what it does, deer walks in front of it, it takes the picture, sends the picture. It takes up to 41 seconds. And then if there's still motion in front of it, it will take another picture, send that picture, and so on and so on. I normally don't get that many pictures with my Spartan cameras at night. But like I said, with Reconyx, it is nothing for me to wake up and see 300, 350 pictures in the morning when I wake up. Like, oh, that's great. You know. But then the other part of my brain goes, oh, how much am I going to charge for that? That's terrible. I hate having the anxiety of that. So some of them that's on food plots or mineral licks or things of that nature, there's a way to put a delay in this thing, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of how fast it is. But you put a delay on it of 10 seconds. One of my, that's by mineral lick, I put a minute delay on it. That way you're not getting 150 pictures of one doe or one button buck that just walked up, which kind of defeats how the camera works too. I mean, how this camera works so well in battery life is it takes all those pictures and then connects the modem to the internet and sends you all those pictures. Where this one here takes a picture, sends it to you, so it uses all that energy every picture. Where this one here, it connects the one time, sends the 10, 15 pictures, whatever it takes, and then shuts back down until it gets another motion. But when you put a delay on it, even a 10-second delay, it'll take one picture, send it to you. Another 10 seconds, take another picture, send it to you. Another 10 seconds, take a picture, send it to you. So it's got to connect to that modem, and it uses more energy. That part I don't like. Ease of menu. Let's talk about that. Ease of menu. Both of them are relatively easy to use. I'd have to give the edge to Spartan. Virtually Spartan has, when you get into the menu setting, it has 4 icons. You scroll over to each icon. One's for pictures, one's for settings, one's for internet, and one I think is for info. And then once you scroll over to that, then you can scroll down, and it'll give you all the sub menus in that category. With Reconyx, it's a little bit more confusing. You have it like quick setup, advanced setup, camera info, things of that nature, and it's virtually the same way. Then you have to scroll down and go to the sub menus on that. And there's just a lot more features, and in some ways there's a lot more features on this camera to change. Is why it's hard to remember, like, what is sub menu is that in? What category? Both of them are easier to use from your cell phone than they are at being at the actual camera and scrolling through their menus. So that's something to think about. When you have the app on your phone, which you have to have the app to receive the pictures that it's sending anyways. So it's a little bit easier. Excuse me. So let's go to picture clarity next. I would have to give the edge to Spartan again on this one, which is sad because you're paying $600 for this camera. And if I remember right, like when you get a full HD picture from this camera, it's like 1940 by 1860, if I remember right. And this one here is 2480 by, I don't know, 2200 or something like that. It's a little better. Now, that being said, a lot of times, especially the night pictures, they're way better on the Reconyx. Even though the megapixels or whatever is supposed to be better on Spartan. But there again, the Spartan's sending you full HD every picture, where the Reconyx is sending you these thumbnail pictures that are like 512 by 400. It's ridiculous. Half the time when you look at it, you're like, is that a bug? I can't tell. You know, is it a 4 point, 12 point? I don't know. So that part, to me, is really irritating. And then you can go to, we'll go to the video setting. Both of them have video. This one's 1080p, which is the Spartan. This one's 720. The 1080p, you can do a request. So say you have a buck where you set it up to where it takes a picture then a video. And say you get this picture of this buck and you're like, ooh, he's pretty nice. I want the video of that. See what it looks like. 10-second video. So you request the video. It won't send you the video until the next motion sensor goes off. So virtually the next time it takes a picture, excuse me, it might be that night, it might be the next day, but when it happens, you can go back to your pictures and you'll retrieve the video and look at the video. It's usually the same night. If you're getting pictures of something, same day, same night, whatever, you're going to get more than one motion sensor detection. With the Reconyx, it takes the picture, then takes a video. You cannot request it from your phone. You have to pull the card to look at it. It is completely useless. I've turned it on Like I said, I bought 5 of these right off the bat. I think it was in July when they finally came out. Originally, I had for it to take a picture and a video all at the same time. After the first time I came down, I lived 2.5 hours from where these cameras are, so I'm not here all the time. First time I came down, I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull the cards. And to go back and find the video that you were wanting to see from a month ago is ridiculous, because when it takes the pictures, it's actually taking 2 pictures. It takes the HD photo and then it takes the thumbnail, and it saves both of those to the card. I don't really know how that works, but whatever. Saves both of them to the card, and then it records the video. So you have 2 pictures and a video. And literally one of these cameras, in a month, I had 15,000 different items on that camera. It was about, well, it was more like 2 months, but still. 15,000. So then you're going, when did I see that deer? That was one to look at. You can't remember. So you're searching back through this thing, and finally you just give up. So after, I think the first 2 months I had these cameras, I just turned the video off because it was eating up the HD card. I put 16 gig in them, then I bumped it up to 32 gig, and then I ended up buying a bunch of 64 gig cards to put in them. And by that time I'd already decided, screw it, I'm not even watching these videos anyways, I'm just turning that feature off. Like I said, with the Spartan, you can request the video, you just have to wait until you get the next motion sensor. And that's the same way the Reconyx is, except for you can't request the video. But if you want an HD photo, you have to have the real time turned on, which costs you an extra $5 a month. But if you don't have that turned on, then you're just waiting for the next motion detection to go off. And once it does, then it sends you the HD photo. That part, like I said, irritates the shit out of me. I can't stand it. It's like they nickel and dime you. I mean, in the end, you're virtually paying about the same, except for you're having to decide on Reconyx. Do I want to have real time? Do I want HD photos? In my mind, it should just be HD photos. You can request those anytime you want, and should be able to get them without paying an extra 10 photos is what it charges. 10 photos, and the video is useless. So until they get the software to work right on that, I don't even know why they have video on this thing. It's, like I said, it's useless. Let's talk about the quirks of these systems. The Reconyx has been flawless. I mean flawless. What it says it's going to do, it does. The one and only issue I had was when I first got the cameras in July. I think in August I noticed when I was switching out cards, I just wanted to, like I said, I had 2 small cards in there. I was wanting to put in bigger cards. I noticed the code lock didn't ask me for the code lock. Like, what the hell is this shit? You open it up, you can go to the menus. I didn't put my code in there. So I emailed Reconyx and they got back to me straight away. I mean, like the same day. Said, "Oh, we had a glitch. You know, the new software is downloaded. Go in, take your code out, put in the menu you don't want a code, and then turn it on, and then turn it back off. Put back in the menu that you want to put in the new code. You do, and then it works fine. And it worked fine after that." With Spartan, it asks for a code, but in a lot of ways it's kind of useless. Like you put in a security code in it, I can open this camera up, turn it off, pull the card out, view the card, put a new card back in it, just skip the menu part of it, flip it all the way back up to on, and voila, you're taking pictures. Now, someone can't steal a camera and repair it to their phone to where it worked by doing that, because they still can't get into the menu settings. But with the Reconyx, when the code lock works now, you can't even view the card, so you can't even pull it. And in Reconyx, they have a setting, and it's for when you deactivate them. You can deactivate these up to 6 months, a year, without penalty, where you're not paying a dime, and use them as a regular hyperfire too, just non-cell. So there's a part in the menu where you can go in there and say, I don't want it to be cellular, turn cellular off, and just use it as a regular cell camera. And that's great, unless you don't put a code lock in it and someone steals your camera. Now they can use it just as a regular camera, and you're just out the camera. I had to happen to a buddy of mine. When going back and editing, I realized I missed a very important point. How does the camera work? The description of the camera is it's a trail camera that if something walks by, it takes motion. A lot of times with the Spartan, it does not do that. Or it takes a lot of pictures when there is nothing there. A lot of false pictures because of heat or leaves moving in the wind or grass moving or whatever the case. With the Reconyx, you don't get that. If it gets a picture, usually something there. Now it does have on the motion sensor, it's 42 degrees is the motion sensor, where I think the camera, the lens itself is 37 degrees. So you usually get a picture of nothing right before the deer steps in. The next picture you'll get a deer. You'll get 5-6 pictures of deer, and then the last picture there'll be nothing in it. That's kind of annoying. But battery life, solar panels, and cell signal. That's what I want to talk about. So battery life on the Reconyx is about 4.5 months. That's pretty dang good. Battery life on the Spartan is anywhere from 2 to about 3.5. If you hook a solar panel up to the Reconyx, I've had one hooked up to it since about July, I think. It's now January. Still 100% battery. Never changed the internal batteries. Stays the same. With the Spartan, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but you have to have the 12 lithium batteries inside of it and the solar panel hooked up to it. And it goes in here, which you can't open up the face of the case with it in there. I don't know if that's why you have to have the batteries on the inside also. Where the Reconyx, it goes in here, but it can be opened up with it's still connected, so you don't lose power whatsoever. The Spartan, even with solar panel, you're lucky to get 4 months. I bought a couple of solar panel from them that's got the battery, the solar panel, everything, and literally on some of them, if you connect the solar panel to it, it'll quit sending you pictures. It's got some kind of glitch in it. I don't know why. I can't tell you that. I'm not an electronic engineer or whatever, but one of them that I have on my cabin, I spent $189, which is ridiculous for a solar panel and battery and all that stuff. As soon as you plug it in, it quits sending you pictures. This particular one that I pulled off the cabin, this one works fine. It's the newest model that they have out, which that's another thing that drives me nuts about Spartan is you buy one, it works great. They come out with a new model about every 2 months. The next one won't work so great. And it's just the way it is. This one here is, I think, the GVS 4B, I think what it is. 4G probably. I don't remember. This one's worked flawless. I bought 2 of these. This particular model has worked great. The other one, same model, same everything, I've had no problems out of it. I bought it. It didn't work but a month. Had to send it back. They sent me a different unit, so then I had to call Verizon, swap them out, all that kind of stuff. And it still hasn't worked properly. That's one of the things that really irritates me with Spartan is you pay $300 for that camera, it quits working in a week after you've got it. You have to pay for shipping on the way back. You have to pay another $17.95 if I remember right. You have to give them a check for that, for them to fix it and send you another one. And virtually all they do is they send you a different unit with a different MIE number that somebody else has probably sent back. That's not the actual original unit you bought. So you can have a unit you bought that's a week old and send it back, and they send you one back that's 3 months old that someone else had already sent back to get repaired. Where for me it's the first 2 months you have it, 3 months maybe. You buy a $300 unit, it dies, or what these particularly do is the PIR sensor goes out on them, which is the motion sensor. So then it starts taking pictures every 47 seconds. Every 47 seconds, you'll get a new picture. So then you have to send the unit back, and they send you a new one or whatever, like I was just saying. And I don't know. It's not good. These are cheaper units, cheaper parts put in them, made in China, where you can just feel the heaviness, just the weight of it. This is a heavier unit. Everything's made in the United States. Haven't since I've had them, and haven't had a single problem out of these. These here I've had nothing but problems out of. I think since the end of 2016, I bought my first one. I think I've had 12 of these in that amount of time. And it's 2021, January 2021. You're lucky if you get 2 years out of one of those. I'm really hoping this unit, it's got a 5-year warranty on it. I'm really hoping that it lasts the 5 years or longer. I have some Reconyx cameras that are non-cell, which is a lot different, like the HC 600s and HC 500s. I've got 2 of them that's close to 10 years old that work exactly the same as when I first bought it. Okay, cell signal. The cell signal, these are amazing. I have 2 properties here, one on the front, one on the back. My back property, I can't even, when I'm on some tree stands I'm sitting back there, I can't even send out a text message to my hunting buddies when I'm back there. That's how bad cell signal is. The amazing part is I usually put my cameras as close as I can to my deer stands to see what's going through, of course, and to decide if I want to set at this stand, whatever, at night, morning, whatever it is. And I literally took these back there thinking I'm not going to get a signal at all. I won't be able to use them back there. I figured I'd try it out. And they have like 3/4 signal. And they do this weird, I don't even know what it is. Well, some kind of level, like DPP level or something. But anyways, you can see if it's, as long as when you're setting the camera up and it shows in the green, as long as the signal strength isn't in the red, they work perfect. Where I took the Spartans back there, and they acted exactly like my cell phone, where it was showing 3G or whatever, 1 bar, and they wouldn't perform back there at all, and the batteries would just die within a week from trying to constantly stay in connect with the internet or whatever. So I don't know. I was really disappointed in the cell signal on the Spartans, and they have where you can buy, like, I don't even remember what it is. It's like $90 or something for this extra antenna for it. And I've read a lot of reviews. I've never particularly bought one myself, but I read a lot of reviews where people buy them and it really doesn't change anything. Some people claim they work great, and then other people are like, I bought it, no change. So I wasn't going to spend my money on that. So then I guess about the only thing left is warranty. And who makes it? This camera's made in Wisconsin. It's got a 5-year warranty on it. Now the warranty is only as good as the company that's warranting it. Don't get me wrong. You can put a 10-year warranty on something, but you know that stuff goes. People always have a reason why they don't need to, be covered on warranty. I believe Reconyx will stand behind the warranty. I did have one problem with one camera out of the 5 that I bought, and it ended up being my problem, not really the camera's problem. Whenever I attach them to a tree, I try to camouflage them in, so the deer can't see them, or more so that people don't just see them stick on the side of a tree. And I'd put too much camouflage close to it, and it was giving it a halo effect on night pictures. And I emailed Reconyx, and the same day they emailed me back, they gave me a bunch of different things to try. And of course, the first thing they said was maybe you have something deflecting the light back onto the camera. So as soon as I went out to the camera, anyways, to make a long story short, that was what it was. Every time but one, and it's the most recent. Every time but one, anytime I've had a problem with Spartan, I will email them, call. If you call them, you're not going to get anybody. I email them, Don Wong or whatever would email me back, or Don Chang, I don't remember what his name is. It was Asian, but he'd email me back, be like 3 or 4 in the morning. This company's based out of Georgia, but they don't make any of the products. They, just like any other cell company, or all the other cell companies, everything's made in China or Taiwan. I don't know if that was why it's 3 and 4 in the morning whenever he'd email me back, and it usually would take a week or 2 sometimes. Now, the last time I had a problem, the PIR component went out, not on this one, but a different one that I have out here. It's the same model number. It went out. It did the taking the pictures every 47 seconds or whatever. So I emailed them, and Shane emailed me back, which is totally different. And super nice on this email. I told him that I used to do electronics. I'd like to just buy the that component. They shipped it out to me for free. I think things have changed now. There's so many different cell cameras out there. You got Spy Point, Tacticam, Reconyx, Motree, Prima. I mean, there's just an abundance. When I first started buying these in 2016, it was only them and Spartan and Covert. I think Covert was one of them. They didn't want to deal with you at all. You had a problem, well, guess what? That's your problem. So things have changed with the company. Hopefully, they're getting better for people who buy their cameras. I particularly will not buy another camera from Spartan. There's just too many problems with them, and like I say, I always try to buy American, made in the USA, whatever you want to say. Virtually every cell camera you get, other than Reconyx, is made in China. Probably same factory. They just put a different name on it and send it out. I know these people claim that, you know, this all engineered in Georgia, which is fine, you know, but that's not really helping anybody for jobs. But everybody, you know, has their price point, and this is a $300 camera versus $600 camera. So you know, this one goes out every 2 years. You virtually got to flip it out and buy a new one. Hopefully, I can't speak for the longevity of this one because I've only had it since July of 2020. So far, so good. If it is, you know, the quality of all the rest of the Reconyx cameras, it's going to last longer. But on the overview, I mean, they both have their positives and negatives. This one, I know for sure this one's picture clarity is better. Not at night. At night, you get a lot of blurry pictures, washed out pictures. But overall, picture clarity is better, which was disappointing for me for the Reconyx. Like I said, you pay $600 for camera. You figure it'd be the best of the best when it comes to picture quality. I don't know why it's not. It's not. I don't even think the picture is as good as the HC600s that they came out with. It's really close to it. But one way you can tell picture quality is when you... I take these home a lot and I put them on my flat screen, my 65-inch flat screen. And when you do that, the picture looks better on this camera than on this one, than on the Spartan. When you zoom in really close, it's a lot clearer. But the day pictures in this one's just looks a lot better. The video's better on this one for sure. So like I said, I think it's 1080p versus 720. But other than that, that's pretty much it. This is Craig from Broken Arrow Outdoors. Thank you for watching.